The moment I explain myself to the wrong person, I lose power. And I learned that lesson the hard way when I stood there answering questions I never owed. Thinking clarity would save me. But instead it exposed me. Because some people don't ask why to understand you, they ask why to control you. And back then I believed explaining myself made me look honest and mature. But what it really did was teach people how to doubt me. And it started small, one choice, one decision, one harmless explanation. And suddenly my life felt like a courtroom where I was always on trial. And the first people you should never explain yourself to are the ones who already decided your guilt. They ask calmly, nod slowly, but they're not listening. They're collecting words, waiting for a mistake. And every sentence you give them tightens the trap. Because in dark psychology, the one who explains is the one seeking approval. And approval gives others leverage. Then there are people who turn your reasons into debates. They act like every decision you make needs their review. And I remember explaining my choices again and again, thinking logic would earn respect. But logic never works on someone who enjoys feeling superior. These people don't want explanations, they want authority. And the more you explain, the smaller you become in their eyes. Because they learn you need them to agree before you feel safe. Then there are the calm ones, the most dangerous ones. The ones who say they just want to understand. Who sound patient and kind. But their questions are not innocent. They are strategic, and every reason you share becomes emotional ammunition later. I once opened up about why something hurt me. And weeks later those exact words were used to shame me. And that's when it hit me, explanations are access. And not everyone deserves access to your inner world. Then there are people who already disrespect you. And explaining yourself to them is like begging a locked door to open. Respect doesn't grow from explanations. It grows from boundaries. And the day I stopped explaining myself to people who talked down to me, something changed, not in them, but in me, because I no longer needed to prove my worth to people committed to misunderstanding me. And that's another type you must never explain yourself to. People who twist your words no matter how clear you are. They don't misunderstand by accident. They misunderstand by choice. Because confusion gives them power. And clarity takes it away. And the more you try to correct them, the more they enjoy watching you struggle. Then there are people who only question you when your decisions don't benefit them. But stay silent when they do. They ask why, not because they care, but because they want to measure how useful you are. And explaining yourself to them keeps you trapped in performance mode. Always justifying, always proving, always shrinking your confidence to stay accepted. And here's the dark truth no one tells you. Over-explaining trains people to challenge you. It teaches them that your time, your choices, and your boundaries are open for negotiation. And psychologically, once people learn you will always explain, they learn they can always pressure you. And I didn't notice the cost until I stopped. Because when I stopped explaining myself, the noise began. People got uncomfortable, defensive, even angry. And that reaction exposed everything. Because confident people don't need explanations. And controlling people fear silence, silence forces intentions to surface. And when I answered questions with calm certainty instead of reasons, some people disappeared, some people changed. And some revealed who they always were. And that's when I understood the real rule. Explanations are for people who respect you, not for people who test you. And the biggest shift happened inside me, because I stopped living like my life needed approval. I stopped handing over power disguised as politeness. Because silence is not emptiness, silence is a boundary. And boundaries are the language of self-respect. And if you remember one thing from this story, remember this: you don't owe explanations to people who use them against you. You don't owe clarity to people who profit from confusion. And the moment you stop explaining yourself to the wrong people is the moment you realize something unsettling. The people who get angry when you stop explaining were never asking because they cared. They were asking because they were losing control.